done, I can do that. Yeah. Okay, today's session is around identity. Now, this is a really interesting topic because we have so many different identities, and a lot of it can happen from past experiences that we've had, traumatic events, things that we're really interested in, social circles that we've been in. I think we've all experienced that moment when we see an old high school friend or someone and suddenly we start talking how we used to just because we jump back into that identity. You know, we have the identity sometimes as parents, and in different situations, we act different ways. But at the end of the day, it's the identities that we most associate with ourselves that have the most control over our life. You know, for a very, very long time, I was the person with chronic fatigue syndrome. I got sick and it became something that my mum talked about. You know, Dave's unwell with her friends, and it became something my friends would ask, oh, how are you feeling today? You're tired. And it became something that became who I was. I also picked up a guitar at one point and started playing in some bands. And I tell you what, for after high school, everyone who I saw would be like, oh, how's the guitar going? You're still playing in bands. That became part of my identity. Now, unlike a lot of the other creatures that live on this planet with us, we have a choice of what identity we choose. We have a choice. I mean, a cat doesn't decide, yeah, you know what, I feel like being a fish today. You know, if it's around a lot of fish, maybe it might decide to jump in the pool and have a swim just because it sees, you know, monkey see, monkey do. But we have a choice. We don't have to play the identity that we've been given. Some people might think that you're a good person or a bad person. You don't have to play that identity. You actually get to have a choice about who it is that you want to be. And it's really interesting because in order for us to change the way that our life is going, there's two things I think we need to know. And this is, you know, in terms of identity. One is, who am I? Who am I right now? What kind of person am I? What are the things I like about myself? What are the things I don't like about myself? What am I doing right now? Who am I at this current point? And then the second question is, who do I want to be? That way we've got a starting point. This is where I am. This is where I want to go. And when we're setting that end result of who we want to be, we want to make sure that it's in alignment with some of the desires that we have for our life. There's no point saying that you want to be a pop star and be touring the world if you also have the idea right now that you want to build a small business and be a parent and be a stay-at-home parent. Those two things might be in conflict. So we're going to do some journaling exercises now to help us figure out a little bit about who we think we are right now and the person that we want to become. So we can start to see some of the changes that we want to make. Now, one of the best ways to do this is, if you've got a pen and paper, just write down Mindful Mondays, the date, and as the topic, identity. That way, you know, if you've got a journal, or if you want to open up a desktop thing on your device and just do the exercise there, that's completely fine as well. I personally like a pen and paper in hand. There's something satisfying about it. But the first question that we're going to ask is, and it's based off this idea, and it goes, I am not who I think I am. I am not who you think I am. I am who I think you think I am. Now, there is an idea that we have of ourselves that when we think about what other people think about us, who really know us, we get very, very close to how we are being at this point in time. So I want you to write down on your piece of paper, put a number 1. I want you to think of 3 people who know you the best. And I want you to pick people in different areas of your life. So people who know you the best, maybe a family member, someone at work, or a career you've had at some time, and also maybe a really good friend. So maybe those 3 could be it. A family member, someone at work, and a really good friend. So I want you to pick 3 people who know you the best. You don't have to like them the most. Maybe you got a brother who knows you really well. You don't have to like him, but if he knows you, he's the guy for the job. Maybe just give me a thumbs up once you've got those 3 peoples. Yep. All right. Darren, good to see you. Yep. Have you got those 3 people? Perfect. Perfect. All right. Now, I want you to imagine that these 3 people are getting together and they have to write me a letter telling me exactly the kind of person that you are, and they are not allowed to lie. They have to be 100% completely upfront and honest in this letter about the kind of person that you are. I'm going to give you a few minutes here, and I want you to cover a few things around what is your attitude like? Are you a good person? Are you kind? Are you caring? What do you like at work? And just cover a few areas of your life that, you know, or things that you reckon that they would all say about you. And I want you to just write that down. So you can write the number 2 and just journal for three or so minutes about what they would write to me in that letter. Try and cover a few of your good qualities and a few of maybe the less desirable ones to some extent. Now that you've done that, if you want to keep writing at some point, you can leave a few lines spare. But if you're anything like me, when I first did that exercise, it was kind of illuminating. I started thinking about some of the flaws that I had, also some of the good points that I had as well. And I found it really, really helpful for me to really think about who it is that I was being at that current point in time. You know, and doesn't mean just because you wrote it down that it's true, but this could be a perception that you think you are, which is very, very interesting perspective. But now for number 3, I want you to write the number 3, and you can leave a couple of lines if you want, so you can finish off more of that journaling exercise if you want. But for number 3, I want you to write down, what kind of person do you want to be? And I don't want you to think about, I want to be famous and I want to, you know, be living on a yacht. And what kind of person do you want to be? Do you want to be more loving? Do you want to be more caring? Do you want to be harder working? Do you want to be more productive? What kind of person do you want to be? And this isn't a fantasy idea. I want to have a 6-pack and all that kind of jargon if it doesn't mean anything to you. I want you to think about the person you would love to become, that you would feel really proud to be. And take a moment, and I'm going to give you a couple of minutes again. I want you to just write down the kind of person that you want to be. We've had a few people just join late. What we're doing right now is we're doing a writing exercise about journaling who it is that you want to be. And again, if you want to leave a couple of lines to finish that up later, I know for me personally, I love writing about this topic and exploring this idea. But for the next part, I want you to write down 3 reasons that you're grateful to get to be you. Right now, what are 3 reasons why you're really grateful that you get to be you? And you can think about some of your family members and some of the things that maybe you've done for them that made you feel really good. Maybe you're grateful because you can send your mom a message telling her that you love her. Or you can send your dad a message saying the same thing. Maybe you're grateful because you have a great sense of humor. Right, amazing, guys. Just take a moment to, just finish up whatever you were writing. And then once you've done that, once you get nice and comfortable, because we're about to do a guided visualization meditation to end the session. It goes for about 15 minutes roughly. So just get yourself nice and comfortable. If you're uncomfortable when you start, that's all you're going to be able to think about. And that is very unfortunate. So if you need to stretch, move your shoulders, whatever it is, just so that you can remain as still as possible for that period of time. So the more comfortable you are, the better it is. Try and not have your head leaning against anything if you can, avoid it. If you want something behind your back to hold you up nice and straight and that feels more comfortable, go for it. That is amazing. But yes, I'm just going to play some music. I just want you guys to let me know if you can hear it okay. Is that coming through loud and clear? Now, is it still coming through? Perfect. All right, I want you guys to just take a moment just to arrive in the space. Just have a last little bit of movement to get comfortable. And as you're getting comfortable, take a moment to arrive into the space. And slowly, when you feel ready, you can close your eyes. I want you to just notice the temperature of the room that you're in. Any feelings that you're having right now, if you're feeling anxious, calm, relaxed, curious. See how you're feeling, just checking in. And to start off, we're going to do some conscious breathing. What we're going to do for this breathing exercise is we're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, but we're not going to pause in between it, and we're going to do it quite quickly. And we're going to do 10 breaths like that, and then we're just going to let our breathing return to normal. So as a demonstration, it's going to be like in, out, and I'm going to count it. We'll count them for you, so you don't have to. Just follow along with the breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And try and breathe into your stomach. And when you breathe out, push all the air out through your stomach. We're going to start the first round of breathing in 3, 2, 1. In, out, 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 in, out. Just let all the air out and just let yourself relax. And just notice how you feel. See if you can Notice any tingling anywhere. Just enjoy the feeling as you let your breath return to normal. And we're going to do one more round of that style of breathing. So in through the nose into your stomach, you breathe out through your mouth, pushing all the air out of your stomach. We're going to start that again in 3, 2, 1. Breathe in, out, 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 in, out. And just let yourself relax. Again, just noticing how you're feeling, just enjoying the feeling of doing some conscious breathing. And now, as you're nice and relaxed, I want you to think about what you wrote before about your identity. And I want you to think of one of the words that you really liked for yourself. Maybe it was courageous, brave, strong, kind. I want you to pick a word that you're wanting to develop your ability to become more of. And take a moment to just pick a word. As long as it's a positive word, whatever you've got right now, that is absolutely perfect for this exercise. There is no doubt that it should be another word. We're just going to explore that word. I want you to now spend a few minutes visualizing what you, being that word in your life right now, looks like. I want you to not think in some future sense. I want you to think about with the people that you're around, in the work that you're doing, the actions that you're currently taking. I want you to imagine going through the next week of your life being that person. I'm going to give you a few minutes here. I want you to just really see any images that come to mind of you being that amazing person. As you're doing this exercise, don't forget to take a few deep breaths here and there. Now, I want you to let go of those images that you were seeing of you being that new version of yourself. And I want you to imagine that you're catching up with a group of friends that you haven't seen for a while. Maybe it's a family dinner, maybe it's some friends that come to mind that you haven't seen for a while. And after you've been hanging out with them for a little while, they start to really notice this change in you. That you've suddenly become someone slightly different. Maybe you're more confident, maybe you're kinder, whatever it is. And I want you to now tell them the story about what happened for you to do this. Imagine that you're telling the story. Oh, yeah, this is what I did to achieve that. And just see whatever comes to mind. Maybe it was a decision that you made. Maybe it was a choice. What did you do to become this person? You can maybe even tell them some of your reasons why you did it. Now, I want you to imagine that you're leaving that dinner, that hangout with your friends, and you're saying goodbye. And you realize as you sit in your car or you get home that, yeah, you have become that person. I want you to now think of that word that you thought of before for your new identity that you're becoming. And I want you to imagine or connect to what that feels like in your body. If you're courageous, what does that feel like in your body? Whatever word it was, I want you to spend a minute here tapping into what that emotion feels like in your body so you have that experience. Just let yourself sink into it. And now, with your eyes closed, I want you to imagine that you're looking into a mirror and you can see yourself and you are looking exactly like that word that you've thought of. I want you to now, on your face right now, see the face and maybe even the body language that you would be exhibiting if you were experiencing this emotion. If you're being kind, move your facial muscles into that of a kind person's facial expression. If you're strong, what does that look like? And let your body just morph into the emotion even more so. And now I want you to look at that mirror, that reflection that you can see of yourself, and imagine yourself just waving to that version of you. And just looking at them and thinking, I'm so glad that I get to become you. Feel that connection, that is you, that is a part of you that is growing right now. That's the part of you that's seeking expression with and through you. And you feel compelled to say to that person, yes, I am becoming that. I want you to repeat that in your mind. Yes, I am becoming that. And again, one more time. Yes, I am becoming that. And let go of the image. Allow yourself to relax. Allow yourself to come back into the space where you are right now. And just notice any smells that you can smell, anything that you can hear, music, my voice. Become aware of how your body feels. And when you feel ready, you can wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, roll your shoulders around a little bit to come back into the space, back into your body. And when you feel ready, you can open your eyes. Welcome back, guys. Amazing. Hang on, one second. Oh, there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed that session. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks for being here. Each of these sessions, I try and make them a little bit different to keep them interesting so that when people come back, there's always something a little bit different. Today was a bit more of a personal development, more so than mindfulness, but I hope you enjoyed that. When you exit this session, it might take you back to Meetup. And if you go back to that, if you could leave a review of any kind, however many stars you think it deserves, don't have to I'm not going to tell you to put 5 or anything like that, and just leave a little comment. Anything like that does really help get the group out to more people, because it shows that it's popular, that people are showing up. And I would love to, I've actually got a bit of a goal myself of eventually getting 100 people on one of these calls. So it's a bit of a big goal. As you can see, we've got 16 all up, if my math is correct. So minus me, that's 17. So it's a big goal. But any comments or shares does really help. Also, if anything came up for you today in the session that you want to talk about that made you feel uncomfortable or anything, please send me a message. If there's anything you want to help working through, or you just want to connect at all, I love meeting new people and love talking to new people. And also, if you want to know a little bit about my services, you can have a look online at my website, which is www.davidkeithturner.com. I am actually running a group mindset program starting next week. So I'm taking enrollments for that. So if anyone's interested, then yeah, you can even just book a call with me. Actually, I might just put a link there. So I love chatting to new people and, getting right into this stuff. And if there's something that you want help with, I always love the saying that you've got to do it by yourself, but you don't have to do it alone. And it's really important that you understand that, if you're struggling with anything, there's always someone out there who wants to help you. That's just how it is. Everyone's got their things that they're going through, and there's always someone who's going to be able to help you achieve that over a period of time. And yeah, if you want to have a chat with me, I'll just put a link in there to book a call. Even if it's not working with me, I can always recommend someone who might be a better fit for you at the time, or even just podcasts or books or anything, if that sounds good to you. Anyway, that's my little spiel there. My marketing coach and my business coach were very proud of me that I mentioned that. I'm going to stop recording.